I have been in my 5 years of YouTube, I have 472 subscribers and just over 50,000 views, which in terms of YouTube is pretty terrible, but in terms of myself, I'm pretty damn happy with that. I never went into this with any expectation of doing well. I just kind of wanted to do it for fun. And does it look a little bit like a brothel? Oh, no, I can't do that. It's too brothely. That's too bright. Turn it down. So I just want to share some of my experience with you, being in the low end of YouTube, being in the hidden away parts, because I feel like that's a valid thing to sort of show to you, because I don't think there's enough people showing what this side of YouTube is like. There we go. Intro, done. This is my first video released on the 23rd of April 2019, and it is pretty bad. It's rough in parts. Okay, this bit, horrible editing. I was really proud of it at the time because I managed to sort of like, okay, this is too loud. I remember at the time being really proud of this because I managed to edit this part like that was how it was supposed to be shown. But looking back on it, this is excruciatingly long. Like it's the actual show, and there's no commentary, and it is terrible. But my main point is, it's fine to be terrible when you're first starting. You're going to be bad. No one gets into something just already being good. The best thing about these videos, and I'm never going to delete them, no matter how much shame it brings me for being so shit, I'm glad I've got these because it shows you where you've came from. It shows your improvement. I look at this and I think, oh my god, I am so much better than this now. And that's the best thing about it. Like, look, this scene is still going. I haven't said anything since it started moving.
Well, it wouldn't be a modern horror without allowing YouTube stuff for a really pointless reason.
Why did I do that? Why did I take so long to do anything? But that's the point. It's fine. It's fine to be bad. It doesn't matter. It's your first video. You're going to get better. As long as you start something and then carry on with it and strive to get better, that's all you can really ask for. And that's what I am glad that I've done. I'm being stared at by my cat right now. It doesn't matter if it's bad. That's all just part of it. It's just getting better. That's all you can really ask for. I always see YouTubers that like delete their first videos. I have deleted some, but it was a welcome video, which was terrible and it had no purpose. It didn't fit on the channel. I'm never going to get rid of these videos. I mean, first of all, I've made it a series, and also I think it's very fitting that I did it on the show Origin because these are my origins. But again, it shows the improvement. It shows how much better I'm getting at editing and even just talking, and it's all because of this. That is my first video. That's my humble beginnings. I think this is actually quite an important video in my growth. This is sort of where I started to find my voice and sort of figure out how I was going to make videos and sort of separate myself from everyone else. And if anything, how to sort of display my personality and show what exactly I want to achieve with my videos. This is where I started to figure out what I was actually doing. And that is an important part of the creating process, is finding out your way of doing things. Okay, there's a part in that it was always on my mind because it really annoyed me how lazy my editing was.
There's pretty much two sides to this app. We got the comedy and the dancing.
So obviously dubbed, it really annoyed me because the easiest thing I could have done was just re-record the whole sentence instead of just the part that I wanted to change. But honestly, I think this is actually pretty good. Technically, it's not all well put together, a bit janky in places. But this all shows promise. It shows that I'm developing that voice. That's the whole point of this. Try and find your voice. And even still, you might not get anywhere like I have. But still, just enjoy the process of finding that voice. And I really have enjoyed it. Ever since sort of starting doing YouTube stuff, I've become a lot more confident as a person because I've been just kind of figuring out who I am in the process of doing this. And that is the best thing that I've taken away from actually making stuff. Just writing down all of these weird things just bouncing around in my brain. I mean, first of all, it's been like therapy, but it's really sort of helped me become who I am today. It's just been fun doing it. Actually, it's pretty good. Wait, when did I make this? 4 years ago. And I'm like really happy with it. Obviously, there's areas that I would change, but ultimately it shows this creating of the voice that I'm making with this channel. It shows that start of who I'm becoming. That's what like YouTube should really be for. Expressing yourself. I did a pretty damn good job there. And like, again, it's flawed, but that's just part of it. Like, who cares? You're going to make better things in the next video. So it doesn't matter if it's flawed. Just keep on going. You get to 5 years and you get to look back on stuff and go, wow, I've improved a hell of a lot in those 5 years. That's the thing that drives me the most. Finding that voice and then making it even better. I love it. I'm just rambling. This was the first video that actually got pretty decent amount of views. It got into the 2.2 thousand, which was a lot for me at the time. I mean, still is, because, you know, still very low down in YouTube. But this was the first taste of success. It's really a rush just seeing the views. A rush just seeing a number go up. It's basic animal brain just going, a number, go up, 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 up. Make it go high. There's a lot of channels that I see that they die after about a year. They don't get to 1 million subscribers in a year and they just give up. They're like, oh, no, it's not worth it. It annoys me when you get the videos that say, this is the path that you need to take to get successful in YouTube. Because a lot of them, they go, make rubbish stuff. Make things that appeal to a trend that no one really likes. Appeals to the people that are just mindlessly watching stuff. That is not a route to success. That's a route to like short-term success, yes. Get a lot of views in a short amount of time and then the channel just sort of dies out because it's rubbish. There was a Ludwig video. He shows that it's easy to get successful on YouTube. All you've got to do is make a video about a specific streamer and then bug that streamer by paying 50 quid so they read a message. So that streamer watches your video and then watches it on stream, so then other people watch your video. Well, what if I don't want to make a video on a streamer? What do I do then? They're always making just really basic crap. It will just be compilations of football videos they downloaded from like another channel that does the exact same thing, and then these channels end up doing really well. But it's like, what if you want to make something that's actually creatively satisfying and not just useless crap to just throw out there? None of the channels that say it's easy to get successful are telling you how to do that kind of successful. Some of them try, and then they fail because it's mostly luck-based. Because of course it is. If I make a video and it goes out to, let's say it goes to 100 people that just aren't really that interested in film. Well, if none of those 100 people watch it, the video just dies. My channel, it's slowly growing. It goes out to a certain group of people, 500 people that subscribe, but it also goes out to people that are like in a similar territory. It's starting to figure out what kind of people like these sorts of videos. It's sort of narrowing it down, and it's now sort of finding the people that might like film stuff. You've got to be going into YouTube just wanting to have fun with it, and like the views, they've been really nice, but it's kind of a side product. Pursuing these numbers, especially when you're starting out, that's just a route for disaster. You're just setting yourself up for failure and depression when you don't get the views you want. The weird idea to think that I should be successful at 25. Why should I be successful at 25? That's fucking nothing. That's so young. It's crazy to think that you're going to have everything you want at 25 or even younger. Because so many people on YouTube are younger than me. 16-year-olds making their own YouTube channel and then they give up after a year because they haven't been successful. And you're like, yeah, you're now 17. You shouldn't be super successful at 17. Just keep going. You've got loads of time. Don't just compare yourself with other people who just managed to get successful. A lot of them just got lucky. YouTube is all about just building up your own skill set so you can improve your own luck. YouTube channels, the way they always work is they just go along, no views, and then all of a sudden you just go boop, loads of views. Every time I make a better video, I'm just improving my odds of that video being the one that just goes whoop. It's just a waiting game. Obviously, that is kind of setting some people up to fail. Like there are some people that just aren't going to make it. There are channels that I see on subreddits where people are going, I just don't understand how I'm not getting views. I put so much effort into this video. And then you look at it and you go, are you sure? This is really bad. There's a lot of people that aren't going to make it, but that's mostly because they give up. But, I mean, as long as you fucking enjoy it, as long as you're enjoying the process, what does it matter? If you're solely there for the success, you're you're not going to make it anyway. No matter how successful you get, there's always going to be more success, and then you're just not going to be happy about it. Oh, God, this was a long ramble about this one. Oh, God. When I released this video, I was really disappointed with the reception of it. It has 163 views, which that was a real blow to the ego, because I spent so long on this video that it felt like it needed more to sort of justify its existence. Just see something you worked so hard on not really get appreciated. But why should it? Because to be honest, it's not that good. It's decent, but it's not, whoa! It's a great concept. It looks cool, it looks different, but there's so many areas that could have been done better. The plot is a little bit formulaic. That's such a generic font, and I'm a font guy now. That's iMovie right there. It was sad to sort of see it kind of affect me. It feels lame to talk about it. I needed those views, but you get these videos that do quite well, and then you think, if I just make this even better video, it's gonna do really well, and then it doesn't, and you go, bleh. You get all grumpy and bleh. It is just lame to think that affects me, and I'm sure it affects everyone else starting out. You put so much effort into something, and then it just flops, and it sucks, but this is part of it. Even just talking about it now, I've sort of realised how much I've sort of grown past that. You have videos that do well, and then the ones that you really love, some of them just do terrible. That's just the way it goes. That's part of the game. This video was released on the 15th of May 2022, so that's 3 years since the first video. It didn't really do very well at first, but then just randomly it just started to get views. You really get a kick from it. It's like you get a real boost just seeing the numbers going up, more and more people liking and commenting, and I don't know if the comments are really what sort of kept me going this whole time. So giving the approval that it's valid content, it's lame to think that's what it is. In my head, I'd like to think I've got this artistic integrity that it's like, no, my drive to get better is what has kept me going this whole time, but I don't know if that's true. But I don't think that's anything to be ashamed about. To think that the success side of it is something to be ashamed of. I don't know why I have that in my head. It's probably because there's so many videos out there that goes in on people who are so fame hungry. But you gotta think there's a level of hunger for that fame that's acceptable. Where is that level? I want to be successful at this. I just want to be able to survive doing a thing that's really cool. That's all I ask. I don't need to be the wealthiest person in the world. It's fine to want success. Weird that I have to say that, but maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm the only one that's sort of thinking, don't be such a loser, you don't need success. But you kind of do. You weirdly need justification from strangers. I think this is really good. Why isn't anyone getting this? Am I just this crazy, ego-obsessed guy who thinks that I'm the funniest person, but people just don't understand me? And then all of a sudden you get the views and they're like, oh no, we do understand you, we just didn't see you there. And that's what it's like. Fuck, that's all it is. It's just a justification that I'm not a narcissist. Oh God, that's so lame. Is it narcissistic to think I'm proud of my work? I don't know. I think some people would say yes. You gotta be humble. It's like, oh no, my work's not that good. And they're like, oh, that guy's humble. Fuck that, no. I'm really happy with myself. I'm so fucking happy with how much I've improved. And just seeing that improvement, yeah, I think I've earned to be a little bit ego-driven. Just be like, yeah, I'm pretty good at this. Awful framing and lighting. It looks horrible. This setup here, it's not the craziest, but it's fine for this. It's got a purpose, but you can see the light coming from the TV. I didn't even know about D-spill. And this is what I mean of growth, of just learning a simple node, a simple effect, and going, oh, that's actually incredibly useful. Brilliant. Look, same shot, just looks worse. I'm pretty sure I probably underexposed it because it looks really gross there. But here, it's lovely and exposed. There, and then it just looks gross. Okay, we don't need to watch all that. This has almost a 50% dislike ratio because I talk about Andrew Tate negatively. I don't know why, but YouTube thought that advertising my video on like Sneeko's videos or something was a good place to put them. So I had a bunch of people who really like Andrew Tate coming into the video and leaving some very insightful comments like, oh, here's a good one. You are poor. If you're a little bit of a contrarian, or even just going a little bit against the grain, this wasn't even against the grain, but it was against the grain for the people it got sent to. Just going slightly against the grain, you get dislike bombed. My most recent video about Oppenheimer, I gave the lightest criticism about Christopher Nolan. Just maybe we're a little bit skewed on him. Maybe we're thinking that everything he does is brilliant because it's Christopher Nolan. Maybe we should, scrutinise his work just a little bit. And then people just started disliking. It's at like a 73% like ratio. I don't tend to get people that think I'm completely wrong and then say a reason why I'm wrong, and then I go, oh my God, that's right. It's usually a completely subjective thing. And then I go, hey, that's my point. It's subjective. They've already disagreed with the premise of the video. They're not even going to listen to what I say. I rewatched the Video Game Donkey video where he talks about the reception to his video about Last of Us 2. And he got the most dislikes he's ever had. And it was only like a 70% dislike ratio. It's weird that you're not allowed to be a bit of a contrarian. It's so weird that you're really encouraged to follow the trend of it. Follow the exact same opinion of everyone else. And it's so silly. Part of the weird game of YouTube. The weird game of like media success, if anything. You've got to somehow agree with everyone while also doing it differently. You've got to have a different view, but it also has to agree with everyone. Oh, that's kind of hit the nail on the head, I think. Oh no. But even if you do agree with everyone and you've delivered it in a different way, you still might get your video sent to the people that disagree with the thing that everyone agrees with. So that's part of the joys of being low down in the YouTube world. This is a really good representation of what my channel is sort of at the moment. This was like a good turning point for where the quality was going. I'm now sort of like reaching that point where the quality is good enough for it to sort of pop off. This Choose or Die video did really well because it came out when the RPG video, the Joel Haver type video, was starting to pick up traction. One thing I've kind of always regretted about a lot of the YouTube stuff is the weird kind of shame side of it, where you kind of feel a bit embarrassed to like say, oh yeah, I make YouTube videos. A weird thing to be embarrassed about. Like, it's a fucking cool hobby. When people ask, oh, what do you make? I go, it's kind of hard to explain. It's like video essays, but they're funny, but I try and be funny, and I'm like kind of unsure of myself. But it's because I don't have the views to sort of back it up. I don't have that justification to sort of say, no, this is serious. When you say you make YouTube videos, people sort of think, oh God, so you've got like a camera in your room and you just talk to it like a knob, like I'm doing now. Which, like, yeah, I am doing that now, but also there's like more to it. It's not just YouTube videos for the sake of YouTube videos. It's like, no, I like making stuff. It's cool. It's weird to think I kind of have that little bit of shame. It's even weirder to think that I still kind of haven't got over it. I still find it a little bit embarrassing to say I make YouTube videos. And it shouldn't be, because the amount of positive things that I've got from people, like the thing I would say to anyone new is just tell your friends, tell your family, tell everyone. If it's really good, like, they'll tell you. And if it's terrible, they might even tell you that as well, and you can improve. I've told like a few friends about this. I meet up with them like a year later and they go, oh, I watched your video. I thought it was really good. I get get all flustered. Like, never go, oh, did you see my latest video? Because then you're kind of putting it on them, and if they didn't watch it, that's a bit embarrassing. But if they come to you and say, oh, hey, I watched your video, it was really good, that's a genuine reaction. Tell people that you do this. Be proud of it. Why not? Why shouldn't you be proud of it? You just think about the worst case scenario of the embarrassment of, like, people are going to take the piss. And why does that matter? What do they do? Most likely, if you're talking to someone, they don't do anything that's any more interesting. It's not like you're talking to Quentin Tarantino going, oh yeah, I make YouTube videos. We're basically the same. We both make cool stuff. You're talking to normal people. They're probably going to think it's cool. It's certainly more interesting than saying, oh yeah, I get home and I play games until my balls are all sweaty and they stick to the leather of my chair. Like, that's not cool. No one cares. But yeah, that's sort of one of the things I kind of regret. Being embarrassed to tell people that I make videos. Because, like, it shouldn't be something to feel embarrassed about. Like, fuck that. Embrace it. It's cool. I love this video. It's one of my favourites for, like, the topic. The thing that I sort of changed most with it is I changed the way each of the sections is laid out. All of the different sections is about a different swear word, and I only use those swear words in that section. It's just a little tweak on the formula, and it's something that I've tried to sort of do with, like, the rest of my videos. There'll be a change to the way I make things. Going through these, it's cool to see the different eras that I was going through of how I made videos. Seeing it change over time and knowing that it's gonna keep changing. Going on to, like, other channels, there's so many that they just stay the same. You're watching the same person displayed in the exact same way, the same lighting setup, doing the same sort of video that they always do, and you just get tired of it. And then those channels, they kind of just die off. The channels that get like 1 million subscribers, they'll have that one big video that got a few million, and then a few videos after that also getting the millions, and then a lot of those subscribers just stop watching, and then it stays around 100,000 views. And then that channel, it just stops existing because the person gives up, because they're like, okay, I can no longer survive on this. All of the biggest channels, they've branched out and, like, became bigger and better. And you gotta start doing it early on, even before you're successful, like I'm doing now. You wanna get into that habit of just constantly doing something different. You've got to evolve, otherwise people will just disappear. Obviously, I'm saying this from the perspective nowhere near being close to having to worry about people disappearing, but it's still something that I've noticed from watching channels. I've been watching YouTube for a decade and a half, probably like 2010, around then. I like to think I'm pretty well versed on YouTube stuff. I know my way around. I've got a Mr. Beast level of knowledge of stuff. There's so many channels that, because they're successful, they think they know what they're talking about. They think they understand why they're successful. They're so biased. Yeah, of course I'm successful. This is what I was doing. Of course it's going to lead to success. And you're like, well, no, it just accidentally led to success. And you only think it was bound to get there because you managed to get there. There's so many people that had that same mindset that just didn't make it. They were doing the exact same videos, the exact same way, and then they just didn't get famous. And then they quit, because that's the way it goes. Just because someone's successful doesn't mean they're gonna be right about it. Okay, Snapchat video. This was my most disappointing because it has all the hallmarks of something that would be successful. Like the first 30 seconds are really fast paced and interesting and, like, cool to look at. It shows the effort and it's shot in a way that's unique. It's a switch up off the formula. It's still an interesting topic, and this is one of my more prouder videos. And then it just died. I just don't understand the algorithm sometimes. There's just random things that just don't work. And I'm kind of suspicious of this one. I think it's because I talk about Snapchat. It seems too weird of a coincidence. I talk about Snapchat, and any of the videos that say Snapchat, they all do way lower than any of the other ones. And, like, obviously this is just a bit conspiratorial. I mean, of all of the videos, Snapchat, it's a competitor to YouTube because they have their stories that I don't even think anyone really watches because they're littered with ads and they're just awful. Like, ugh. But it's just The weird side of YouTube is the randomness, the unknown. Making something and not knowing if it's going to work. If YouTube will push it out, they want to push out some stuff but not others. There was that controversy of they were kind of suppressing LGBTQ stuff because a lot of it was linked to some darker topics like hate speech. The algorithms started suppressing LGBTQ content because it was sort of relating to that. And you've got to think there is still a part of the algorithm that takes control of it all. I still think, I have a hunch that this video got done in by that pesky algorithm. 10 likes for 64 views. That's like a really good ratio. And the thumbnail on it, also really good. Retention, 33%. Now, that sounds bad, but that is actually really good for me. It just died, this one. It just didn't do well. Because again, I think it's because it had Snapchat in the name and in the tags. You're kind of dealing with that little bit of the unknown randomness. Right, let's talk about retention. I lose like 50% of viewers within like 30 seconds. Every single one of my like retention graphs, they just go, ugh. Like, they die immediately. The big channels that tell you how to keep retention, they're talking in terms of a big channel. But people like me are still watching those videos and still trying to make a video that satisfies all of these criteria that work for these big channels. And then it doesn't work because you're still working with that randomness of being a small channel. You go onto YouTube and you're scrolling through, and then let's say you come across my video. It's got a cool thumbnail and you think, oh, that's cool. You read the title, cool. It starts auto-playing. You see me, but before you look at me, you look at the amount of views, because that's what I'd do. I'd look at the amount of views it's got. If it's got loads of views, you think, oh, it's probably a good video. But my videos don't. And so you don't watch it, because I wouldn't watch a video that has 5 views. Why would I? Because most likely it's going to be terrible. A recurring theme with a lot of my videos is you'll see a lot of people saying, I really doubted this would be good, but you really surprised me. That's another thing that you're kind of battling with. It's just hard to keep that retention up. How am I supposed to keep the attention of people that they just wouldn't watch the video because I don't have the views? And a way I've sort of thought about recently, you kind of have to make them expect it to not have many views. This video, for example, because I'm going to put it in the title, is going to let people know that I don't have many views. And hopefully that might work. You can find out for yourself. Has it worked? I don't know. I'm still recording this. Again, it's just these things that they don't talk about in the videos because they haven't experienced it themselves. Again, a lot of these channels, they get popular within a year because they just got lucky. Their videos got recommended to the right people at the right time. They got lucky early on. Whereas people like me, we might get lucky later on. You know, that's just the way it goes. This is one of the biggest productions of mine. I made an audio book because, like, why not? It only has 58 views. It's one of the lowest on my channel because of course it is. Most people don't go onto YouTube expecting an audio book. You'd look at it and go, no, I'm not going to bother. 58 views, why would I watch that or listen to that? It doesn't matter if it's not successful right away. It doesn't need to be successful now. It just needs to be there. The way I sort of think about it is, let's say I get successful at some point. The videos are starting to do a lot better in views. Like, this is going to be my year. This video is bound to get more views later on. People are going to see that and they're going to go, oh wow, this is actually really cool. It shows there's more to me. There's more things that I can do. YouTube isn't like the end goal. I don't expect this to be a thing where I'd get successful and then I'd be a YouTuber until I die in my 90s because I'm optimistic about living. This for me was like a proof of concept that I could do something longer. I am super proud of how this came out. I hired an artist. Granted, she was my girlfriend's sister, but I paid. Even that was like a weird step in the career. It doesn't matter if it's not successful now because it shows that I can do something more. It all comes back to that evolution of the channel and evolution of myself and the growth and showing that there's more to me and that someone would trust me to make a good film. That's all this channel is. It's all just practice so I can be better at writing and understanding my views and trying new things and understanding film and just getting better at it all. Being able to craft something. Just having more experience with more stuff. Just because something doesn't get views doesn't mean it's pointless. A lot of people will ask me, like, what if you don't get successful? It doesn't matter. It's not like this is wasted time. It's not like I was just sitting around with my thumb up my arse. I was making stuff. I've learnt stuff. I'm really good at editing now. Like that's not something that would just be taken away from me. People just sort of see the success side and they see that as like the end goal, and it's like there's not really like one end goal. There's loads. The stuff I do here, this might land me a job writing for films. Who knows? The channel's like a big CV in a way. It's all about growth, really. Just try and grow yourself. Get good at doing stuff that you enjoy. That's it, really. Okay, this one kind of annoyed me. This was the video I saw as like most viralable. It looks really good. It's about Mr. Beast and it has a unique concept. The way I kind of marketed this one, I posted it into like the Mr. Beast subreddit where it was doing really well. It got like 60 upvotes, but then it got deleted by a moderator because it's not Mr. Beast. But it's like, it's Mr. Beast related. People were really liking it. Come on, guys. Like, what the fuck is the subreddit supposed to be? Just obsessed people, like, getting news about Mr. Beast? Like, what the fuck? The reason this one really annoyed me was because it was doing so well. Like, the views were going up and up and up, and then it just died. It just flatlined on me. It doesn't explain why, but I don't think YouTube would know why either. It seems like the kind of thing that it should just sort of level out. Instead, it goes boop. It was like a right angle, and you just don't know why. But again, it's just part of the game. A lot of the times I'll get comments about people sort of saying, here before this blows up, but then it doesn't. It goes up and then it dies. You're dealing with a system that doesn't really tell you why something's wrong. It's like throwing darts at a dartboard in the dark. You just keep throwing in random directions and then hope one day you hit a dartboard. A lot of creators, they try and make out that they understand how the algorithm works. Mr. Beast says, don't think of it as algorithm, think of it as people liking the video. He's talking from the side of someone who's already successful. It's like survivorship bias. Of course you're going to say this, you're already successful. You're going to just sort of say the things that you do, that's why it's successful. That's the way it is. It's sounding very negative about all of this. I'm an optimist about YouTube. I'm very optimistic about it. I see myself hitting that success this year. But if it isn't this year, then it's next year. And if it isn't next year, then it's the year after that, and so on and so on. Because as long as I just keep doing it, I'm just raising those odds. And then one day it will pay off. And it will be all good. And I can relax. And, well, not relax. Work harder. This was the real culmination of 5 years of work. I think culmination is the right word. Who cares? Culmination. It shows how far I've come. I am so happy with myself. And like that's why I want to make this video, because I kind of want to show to people that it's all about growth. Like, it doesn't matter that I haven't been successful. It's like I have been successful. I've got really good at making videos. It's such a long way that I've come from the first video. It's 5 years of hard work. It's not always the subscriber goals that you need. A lot of channels, they do like their millionth subscriber goal, celebrating a million subscribers with a video. I don't want to wait that long to have to celebrate. It would be nicer if more channels focused on time rather than that number. There is that obsession with the subscriber number, seeing that number go up. Is it important because we've made it so important by having everyone talk about it like it's the most important thing about making videos? Why do we not see more channels sort of talk about their 5-year anniversary? I don't think I've seen many. That's the kind of thing that we need to encourage more. Sort of show people that it's a long process. It's not always a successful one. I might not be successful. There's a chance that like barely anybody will ever watch this video. It will just be my girlfriend and that's it. Hello! If there are any new YouTubers watching this video, good luck to you. Stick it out. Do it because it's fun. Don't worry about the number. At the end of the day, that number will just make you depressed. Think about this other number, the 5 years. Think about that growth. There's no way the growth will go down. You won't get worse at making videos. Some people do, obviously. Those are the people that care about that number. The ones that care about that number, they get better. And yeah, bye.